What's going on, everyone? I'm Andrew J. Welcome to episode 6 of Jay by the Bay. I'm excited to be back and look forward to discussing today's topics. Today, we'll be covering ESPN's top 10 quarterback list according to executives, coaches, and scouts, and we'll also put together our own list. Remember, football news, football conversations, football year round. But without further ado, my brother, Blair Cologne, welcome back, my man.
How's it going? Just a quick little shout out. I forgot last week was my twins' birthday. So late happy birthday to my twins if they're watching any of the episodes when they get older. But we had a great time last weekend. Hope everybody is staying safe out there if you're in the Ohio area or in this area that's getting affected by the Canada wildfires. It was crazy weekend. It felt like a freaking apocalypse here. So I know you're probably not getting that down there, Andrew, but up here, if you saw the pictures, it was wild. It was
No, it's
wild.
I know. Is it as bad as it was 2 years ago?
Oh, dude, it was terrible. They said it was like double or triple the air pollution that we've had. Like Cedar Point was advising people not to come to the park. They had like 15-minute waits for almost every ride there. They were doing evacuations at festivals. Like it was crazy. It was crazy.
Jeez, jeez. Yeah, stay. I mean, stay inside, man. Air
Yeah.
quality. That's plus it's probably hot too still.
Oh, it was miserable hot, miserable hot. And then thunderstorms were coming from it. So I was like, man, this is what California goes through.
Well, that's what we got. We're supposed to be getting like the tropical depressions type stuff going
Ooh,
on. So we'll see how it is. I'm all in
yeah.
for a good rain, a thunderstorm, rainstorm. But yeah, all right, man. But yeah, but all right, everybody. With that being said, let's get into it. ESPN they released that top 10 QB list a couple like it was like the other week. It's according to executives, coaches, scouts. I don't know if you
Yeah.
checked that out.
I did look at it. Couple names on there that I was shocked at where they landed.
Yeah, because they had so I mean they had Josh Allen one, Patrick Mahomes two, Matthew Stafford three, Burrow four, Lamar Jackson five, Prescott six, Herbert seven, Drake May eight, Jared Goff nine, Caleb Williams 10. Um, I know my top five is kind of similar to that, but once I got kind of out of that, like out of the top five, it kind of like it wasn't lining up as much as
Yeah.
they had it. Um, I mean, with that being said, I mean, what was your list looking like?
So with their top 10, my key takeaways that I looked at it that I was kind of shocked was Jared Goff being as low as he was. That really shocked me, especially when I look back just with the name alone, without throwing any stats out there and anything like that. He's been pretty solid quarterback his whole career. Even with the Rams, he was solid. Obviously they felt like they had to move on. They needed just that one step up, and they got Matthew Stafford. But you look at Jared Goff since 2022, he's thrown for almost 4,500 yards every season. He's got 30 TDs, and only 2 seasons did he have double digit interceptions, and that was 12. The rest were single digit interceptions. I don't understand how he is nine. And then when you look at someone who I think is a very good quarterback, Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow has had multiple seasons where he's had multiple games being missed because of injury. Injuries obviously aren't his fault. Cincinnati has to do some work with getting an offensive line around him because you can't be a great quarterback and be down. Your team's going to only go as far as he's going to get you. And with Jamar Chase and Higgins, all of them, you got to keep Burrow upright. You got to keep him upright. And there's years
So,
where he's just getting sacked like crazy.
so I mean, real quick to go back to kind of Jared Goff. So yeah, they originally they had what nine on that list. Where did you
Nine.
end up having them?
I ended up putting Jared Goff on my list as at five.
You had them.
I
Oh, so
really
you have top five.
I have him as the top five. I
Okay.
moved Joe Burrow away from the top five just because, and I again, injuries are not his fault. But when you talk about being available, I feel like that has to come with the list, top 10. Durability alone, I mean, Jared Goff lost his offensive coordinator. Everyone thought Detroit's offense was going to take a step back, and he just put up similar numbers like he's been doing. I think he makes a lot of his teammates around him better. I think they rely on him and depend on him. I think he's just a natural leader. And I look at what he did leaving the Rams, coming to Detroit. I mean, it's hard. It's hard when you have, he's one of the few on this list that has 4,500 yards throwing,
I
30
mean,
touchdowns, and single digit interceptions.
I'll be honest. I know like I didn't like the Stafford trade with Goff at first because I thought that was too much for them to give up for Stafford, and then they end up winning the Super Bowl. But I mean, it's really shown that it's worked out for both teams. I
It
mean,
really is.
Go- Goff has exceeded expectations in Detroit. 48, 33, and one. In 5 seasons. With the exception of that first year, I think they were what 3-10
Yeah.
and one that year.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, 15-2. 2 seasons ago. Unfortunately, they did lose in I think it was the divisional round against Washington. But they should have won the Super Bowl in 23. They're up 24-7 at halftime against San Fran. I still blame Eminem for that when he was taunting all the 49er
Yeah.
fans.
Yeah.
But but yeah, I mean golf. I mean stats alone. I mean last year, 17 games. Yeah, they were 9-8. But yeah, over 4,500 yards. I think he had 34 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. QBR, I think it was around like the 57 percentage. But yeah, I mean he's probably arguably the best play action quarterback.
Yeah.
He climbs the pocket, exceptionally. Uh, and he generally takes care of the ball very well.
Yep.
Doesn't make a lot of mistakes. I just, five's a little high for me. Just, until he does like a little more, I think if he kind of like I said, 2 years ago, 15-2, 23, they should have been in the Super Bowl. I've had a hard time putting him top five. So, I do have him higher than nine. I have him at seven, but I could get where you're coming from with that.
Yeah.
But no, with Burrow though, so you got him out of the top five though.
I do have him out of the top five. I have him actually at seven. Um, I really like Burrow. I just think there's a lot of questions going into this year. Coming off the turf toe injury, you know, he's since that Super Bowl, it's been a little rough for him. So I think he's a great quarterback. Don't get me wrong, I really do. But I think there's some young quarterbacks that are coming up that if he's not careful, they could be taking a run at his spot. I mean, even players like
Like
Drake May. Yeah,
replacing him on the list or like replacing him in
I
Cincinnati.
think so. Replacing him just on that list. I don't think he'll
Oh,
go
okay.
anywhere from Cincinnati. No. Um, but like you could look at a guy like Drake May. I mean, he lost Stephon Diggs, his number one wide receiver. They had a great year in New England. Vrabel proven he's done an amazing job there. And then you pick up AJ Brown this year. So AJ Brown has no more distractions like he had in Philadelphia. He's gonna get the majority of the targets. Let's see if Drake May is real. Because if Drake May is real, that's a guy that you could argue 2 years in a row is he almost better than Burrow right now, or does he make a climb up on the list? Because I think you could argue that he could, and especially
I,
if Joe Burrow struggles or if the Bengals struggle this year.
yeah, I will be honest. Burrow, it is kind of getting harder to argue for him to be in the top five. I still have him in the top five. I have him in that five slot. He's still extremely accurate. And you got to remember it. They just they tried to build that offensive line in Cincinnati, but it's just not working out. They don't have
Right.
the right pieces. I think there now. The line has improved like a little bit, by season. But yeah, he's still extremely accurate.
Hmm.
Believe it or not, he's actually only been in 77 games, but he does currently he holds the NFL record, the completion percentage at
Yep.
68.5%. That is an NFL record right now for 77 games for him. Um, I just he's still calm and collective. They call him Joe Cool for a
Oh
reason.
yeah.
But I still think he performs well with the
Hmm.
mediocre offensive line.
Yeah.
below average offensive
And
line at that, actually.
and when I moved him away from the list, when I was looking at ESPN's list according to quarterbacks that I was thinking about, he was a tough one because I don't want to put the blame of injuries on him because I feel like they're not all his fault. Early on, Cincinnati didn't have a great offensive line around him. So you're right. He's probably the most talented quarterback with the least talented offensive line around him. I think Cincinnati realized that and they're like, hey, we got to try and keep him upright because
Well, you
I
got
believe
to
at
got to
one point they said he
protect
was
our
the
asset.
most, I want to say they said at one point he was like the most hit quarterback.
He got
And
sacked
that's like
that one year. He was
it was
sacked. It
like,
was like an NFL record.
yeah. And I mean, that's your franchise right there. And he's taking you to the Super Bowl. Like Cleveland is proven history. You don't want to do something like that because how many quarterbacks have we lost because, and they weren't the best, but still, like, how many have we lost that we're like, Jesus, if we could have just kept this guy upright? Like, so, and putting them with Chase and Higgins, like, this is your time. You have these guys. And
Oh, they
I
definitely have a
really,
window. I mean, this is
yeah,
their window right now. I mean, they were able to lock up T. Higgins too. So yeah, I mean,
yeah,
if they don't do something, if they don't make some type of push this year, Zach Taylor's out of there.
yeah, I agree.
But all right. So and then you were mentioning Drake May. So you still have Drake May in your top 10?
Yes, I have him at 9. I have
Okay.
him at
See,
9.
yeah, I wasn't ready to put him in the top 10, so I did not have him in my top 10.
Um, Someone that you're going to be shocked that I did put in my top 10. I put Bo Nix in my top 10. Put him at 8
So next,
for the
okay, okay.
Broncos. I
Here
think
to
look at what he did all year last year. He was super talented in Denver, and they were so close to going to the Super Bowl. If he plays in that championship game, I, I think they might have beat New England. They were
I mean,
very, very,
that
they
was
were
I
very
mean
tough.
that was yeah, that was rough. I mean, that would have made for a better game. I know it was a whiteout game, but yeah, they I mean, no, you got a good point there. I mean, they could have very well represented the AFC in the Super Bowl last year. But yeah, I mean, no, I mean, in a year or two, I may very well have Bo Nix on my top 10. I'm just not quite ready to have him, in my top 10. Where do you have him at?
I had him at 8. So kind of lower on the top 10 with that chance to improve.
Okay.
Um, my bottom two guys were Drake May at 9, and then the one player that I felt like there's a couple that I feel got that could be snubbed or feel snubbed. Besides Jared Goff feeling like he should be higher, Trevor Lawrence as well with Jacksonville had a really solid year. Josh Allen I had as number 1. Trevor Lawrence was beating him in the playoffs. Fourth quarter, Buffalo has that drive. A couple penalties help them. They win. If
That just
if
comes out. I
Buffalo,
think that just comes down to experience. So I think Josh
yeah,
Allen he had
but
the hot hand.
in a weird universe, if Buffalo would have lost that game and Jacksonville would have moved on, it would have been tough to keep Allen right there, especially if it came down to Allen making a mistake if they lost. I think I think Allen as well is the guy that now is the time. Like last year I felt like was completely Buffalo's chance. There was no Mahomes there. You weren't seeing any guys like Buffalo should have ran through and been in that Super Bowl. So I think Josh Allen has a lot that is going to be on his shoulders because being number 1 and Pat Mahomes coming back, there's going to be a lot of eyes on you. There's going to be a lot of eyes looking
So
to see if you're the real deal still.
and you have Josh Allen as number 1.
I do have Josh Allen as number 1 still.
Yeah, yes. See, I flip flopped it kind of back and forth. I ended up, and I'm a big Josh Allen fan. I've become one over the years. I have him as number 2. I still have Mahomes as number 1. But I mean, hear me out. I mean, for Josh Allen's sake, it's a very close number 2. And like I said, I went back and forth. Uh, you know, 2 years removed from winning the MVP. He's led Buffalo to 7 consecutive 10 plus win seasons. They've been to the playoffs pretty much every single season. I mean, they have been in the playoffs every single season. I think he has the strongest arm in the NFL.
I
He's
agree.
shown that he can play without a top 10 target. Stephon
Yeah.
Diggs wasn't there last year,
Hmm.
and they are my pick to represent the AFC this year in the Super Bowl, although I don't think it's their year. I think he
Yeah.
leads Buffalo to their first Super Bowl appearance since the 93 season. But I have Mahomes as number one. I just, whether you like him or not, I think he's got that swagger. I think it's still his time where he's number one. 6-8 last season, he had the injury, but 15-1 the season before that. I know
Yeah.
it was a disappointing loss in the Super Bowl, but two MVPs, three Super Bowls, victories. I think he at least has one more Super Bowl victory in him. He has that elite football IQ where he's just able
Oh
to
yeah.
diagnose defenses, and
And
nobody does
he's
it better than him.
yeah, and he's paired with a great coach in Andy Reid who he has the eye for talent. I mean, Andy Reid was coaching Donovan McNabb, and you, I mean, Pat Mahomes and him. You look at how they play; there's very similar play styles. And Andy Reid did amazing things with Philly. I loved Andy Reid in Philly. I loved those Philly teams with Donovan McNabb, and he has a chance to do it again with Pat Mahomes.
Oh yeah, and I mean
And you,
when I think of clutch quarterbacks, I think of Patrick Mahomes.
I do too. It's in the playoffs. I don't know if there's another guy on this list that you give him the ball with a minute left in the game and they only got one timeout. I don't know if you want to be against Pat Mahomes on that. I mean, there's a reason why in some of those games the announcers are saying, "Oh, there's a minute left." That's a lot of time for Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs
No,
because
it's
he
definitely.
has the ability to make a play happen no matter
I mean,
what.
it's definitely Patrick Mahomes. I mean, probably the only other person I'd probably say is like second in clutch. It would probably be Stafford, which I
Yeah,
actually left him at three. I don't know where you
same
had
here.
him on your list. You kept him at three, okay?
I think I
I mean,
did.
dude,
Yep,
I
kept him
mean,
at three.
right?
Yeah,
I mean, reigning MVP, still at the top five arm. He's. I know he's got all that talent around him,
he's got so much talent around him.
but I mean, he's doing something with it. I mean, last year, 4,700 plus yards,
Yep.
46 touchdowns. He had a QBR rating of 71.2. He's showing that toughness. I mean, he gets hit, he gets back up, he stays in the game. He recognizes blitzes and different defensive packages so well. So I mean, that's why I did agree. That's why I left Stafford despite being 38. I think he's just
Yeah.
poised in the pocket, and that's why I just left him in at three.
I
But
almost
okay.
wanted to move him up a little bit, but then when I thought about like the versatility that Josh Allen has, when you talk about like they have designed runs for Josh Allen, and he is a key part of Buffalo's run offense.
Oh, he's a
That
bruiser.
was
He's such a bruising runner.
I was like that was hard to move him away and then to replace him with Stafford. And I agree, Stafford has so much talent with the Rams. He's doing incredible. I didn't think when he went to the Rams that we were going to get this Matt Stafford. I really didn't. I thought that Stafford was going to be at the tail end. I was like, I don't understand what the Rams are doing. I would have stuck with Goff. But shout out to them. Shout out to Detroit. I mean, like we said
It's
earlier,
worked. It
it
really, it
works
really
for
has
both
worked out.
teams. It
It did. I
literally
mean, it
has
has.
worked.
I mean, it really has. All right. I mean, all right. So going to running quarterbacks. I know we were talking about Allen. Where do you got Lamar Jackson?
Amar, I moved up one spot. So he's four instead of being
Got him.
five, according to
I
ESPN.
swear,
And
I got him four
it
as well.
it pains me as a Browns fan to put Baltimore quarterbacks up that high. But when you look at versatility, you look at run, uh, passing. He's always been an elite runner, even in college, elite running quarterback. Biggest question marks were could he throw the ball, and I think he's proven to everybody he can throw the ball.
Well, that's the thing too. I mean, like my thing is, I mean, everybody kept saying, he is a run first quarterback. That's just what he is.
Yeah,
I think to a certain point, I think defenses have figured out to him to a certain degree. But how did he fight back with that? He's become a more improved passer.
yeah,
I mean, hell, man, he's, two MVPs
yeah,
and they're both unanimous. I mean, I
and
mean, yeah, he's a
and he's
phenomenal.
putting
He's still a good runner too.
yeah, and he's putting together game winning drives where it's not just his running; it's his arm getting him down the field. I think it was a Thursday night game against Cleveland, actually. Might have been the year Baker was leaving or the year before. Cleveland was winning the whole time. Lamar had to step away. He had some sort of injury, comes back, leads them downfield, and wins the game. Shocks all of Cleveland. And I mean, he's done it against other teams too. I'm just using Cleveland as the example because it's in my head. But I mean, I never thought Lamar was going to be this elite of a quarterback. And I mean, he is. He's a Michael Vick 2.0 that we have right now in the league.
Well, and I mean, no, not a knock on Michael Vick. I know Michael Vick towards the end of his career, he started, throwing a little more,
Yeah.
just, with age. But I mean, Lamar Jackson, I think, has already way surpassed Michael Vick. I think he did that once he won the first MVP. But yeah, I mean, we're talking about how he's, not relying on his legs as much. He's another person that has an NFL record currently,
Hmm.
as of right now. But yeah, he's got the best QB rating, at 102.2. So I mean, adjusted yards per attempt, 8.3. He holds both those records. So I mean, he's proven that he can do more than just run the ball.
Yeah.
But oh man, what about Prescott?
Dak, I actually kept at six.
You kept him
I
at,
kept
I
him.
kept
I
him at
kept
six as
him.
well.
I kept him right there at six. Solid quarterback. Every year feels like Dak isn't a question mark. Dak's gonna do what Dak does.
I feel like
Um,
he's gotten better over time too.
yeah, I agree. He still has. I really feel like even though it's getting later in his career, he has a chance to move the needle further for him, kind of
Well, they
like a
have all the
Matthew
weapons.
Stafford.
They
You know what I
built
mean?
around him.
Exactly. So I think Dallas is another team that like the window is there and it's going to get smaller as it goes on, but you have the pieces to do something.
Well,
So,
I mean, Jerry Jones is. I mean, yeah, he's more than surrounded him with the right pieces.
mhm.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, talk about, I mean, a durable mindset. Prescott, he's another tough guy. He's another accurate quarterback. He's I mean, he's had a couple of injuries, but he's shown what he could do in the regular
Yeah,
season. I need to see more in the playoffs, though. I mean,
I agree.
he's
I,
10 seasons, 2-5 record. He can't get past the
two
divisional
and
round.
five. That's
He's got to do more.
especially
I got to see more.
especially with CD Lamb, especially with that elite of a wide
George,
receiver.
well, you got
You know?
George Pickett. You have
Yeah.
two top 10
Yeah.
receivers. You have another top 10 tight end and Jake Ferguson as well. You have
Yes.
a phenomenal offensive line.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Always one of the top offensive lines. Dak, you're never worried about Dak getting all these sacks. Never worried about is he staying upright, you know? So I agree. Like all the weapons there. All the
I mean,
weapons.
yeah. He showed he could light up the scoreboard. 30 touchdowns last year. Over 4,500 yards. But yeah, I mean, I do think that I think they have a better season this year. I think they're 11-6 this year, make the playoffs. I don't think they make a run in the playoffs. Maybe he proves me wrong, but yeah, I mean, that's like I think we both agree we got to see more in the playoffs.
I agree. It always just feels like that from Dallas in general. It always feels like they start off you come into the season so high on them and they're right where they should be all year. Just right where they're not being your expectation, they're not lowering the expectation, they're just right there, even all the way through. Playoffs come, and I just don't know what happens. I don't know what happens to them in the playoffs.
I mean, in the Cowboys' way, I mean, just as of late, I mean, they're not the Cowboys of the '90s anymore. I mean, they still spend money like them, but
Yeah. And for me, I personally I'm happy. I'm not a huge Cowboys fan. So
I always call the Cowboys they're the Yankees of the NFL.
they really are. They
I
really are.
mean, but all right, man. You kept Herbert in the top 10 as well, correct?
I, I was going back and forth. I think at the end of the day, I think he edges out Trevor Lawrence. It was between Trevor Lawrence, Baker Mayfield, and Herbert at 10.
So you
Baker,
got Herbert at 10.
yeah, I ended up sticking with Herbert at 10. Baker I was going back and forth on, I had a great early year, amazing early year. Uh it has a wide receiver down there. He was the kid from Ohio State, right? They took
They got yeah, Emeka Ibuka.
Mecca Ibuka, which when we were talking about is Ohio State wide receiver, you completely forgot his name on the list. Um, has talent there, but losing Mike Evans, I think that's going to be a little bit tougher on him than people are thinking about. That was
And
a very big
plus
target, clutch
plus Chris
catcher,
Godwin as well.
and Chris Godwin. Like, that's going to be tough. And it showed, Baker has this ability to be insane where you're like, well, damn, that's his ceiling. And it showed early on last year. But then midway, there were question marks, and he wasn't doing as well as he was at the beginning of the year. So from Baker to be in the top 10 list, I need a full year. I need a full season. I don't want to see a roller coaster where it's up and down. And even if that means just being, you know, not the best quarterback, but not the worst, you're middle. I want to see it consistent. He
See,
has times where he's very inconsistent.
Baker. Yeah, I mean he's another one. I mean you can't get wrong that he's just improved over the years. I mean he's not only matured as just a person, he's matured as a quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean I don't. He's a top 15 quarterback. I think he
Yeah.
is. He's in the
Yeah.
top half. Yeah, I mean so you got him as an honorable mention though.
Yep. Him and Trevor
Okay.
Lawrence were my honorable mentions. I want to
Lawrence.
see, can Trevor Lawrence repeat it again? Um, Jacksonville, I think, has a chance to take another step forward. Team that has a good defense always. Weapons, you know, Travis Hunter got bigger in the offseason. They said he's going to be used less as a wide receiver, have packages for him, obviously, but be used more as the cornerback.
Yeah, he's gonna be
So
primarily a cornerback.
let's see what Jacksonville can do. And if Jacksonville can have another year like they did last year, it's hard to keep Trevor Lawrence off the list because I mean he's there. He's always there. He's durable. Um, I think sometimes he gets the rep of, of not having as much talent around him as he deserves as well.
Well, and I ended up going Caleb Williams with my honorable mention. Just I bumped him out of that top 10. I mean, I'm not ready quite yet, ready to crown him in the top 10, but I think he's
Yeah.
close. He's proven that he's, started 34 games.
Yep.
Guy, what he did in that divisional round. I know they ended up losing the Rams, but that immaculate throw that he had,
Yeah.
he's willing to do that off script playmaking. I actually do have Chicago going to the NFC Championship this year. Now I do think they're going to end up losing the
Mhm.
Rams, but yeah, I think he just still holds on to the ball too long, and I think he needs to improve there. But 2 years in, I think honorable mention. I mean, for me, I think that's still high praise for a guy that's
Yeah.
still only 24 years old.
Yeah. I agree.
Now I got Jordan Love at 9 and Jalen Hurts at 10. Did you have anyone them anywhere in your top
I
10?
did not have Jalen Hurts or Jordan Love on the list.
So I
Those
mean,
were other question marks for me. I want to see what Jalen Hurts can do losing AJ Brown and having Devontae Smith as his primary target, and obviously picking up the wide receiver that they did.
Makai
I want
Lemon.
to, yeah, I want to see what that offense can do, um, and see what they do again with Saquon Barkley. Uh, I don't understand why he gets such hate really in Philly. Sometimes Jalen Hurts, I feel like he gets a lot of negativity around him. And I think he's just doing what the coaches are asking him to do.
Well, and
So Philly fans are always tough. So
I mean, all fans are tough, but I mean, he's had a different offensive coordinator every single season.
hmm
I mean, that's what I look at. That's why I said, I mean, he's definitely not a top 5, but it's hard to leave him out of the top 10. But I mean, look what he's done. Super Bowl victory. He's taken to
yeah,
the Eagles there twice. Running is still his best facet of the game. That's primarily, I mean, the guy, he can, squat 600 pounds. I mean, if I
insane,
squatted 600 pounds, that'd be my best facet of the game as well. But, you
insane.
know, he's the best at, goal line situations from a
Oh
QB
yeah,
standpoint. But like I said, different offense coordinator every single
Yep.
season. And I mean, it's hard to leave him out of the top 10 for me.
Hmm.
I think he just, he adds that extra dimension that traditional pocket passers just don't have. And, with that being said, I mean, I think he keeps Philadelphia, competitive. I mean, I know, Nick Sirianni's still there, but different offense coordinator. I don't think it matters. That's why I got Philly going 13-4 with Hurts.
Do you think
But
losing AJ Brown with that distraction ends up helping
no,
them?
yeah, I think it does actually. I think that was more of a distraction than a lot of people are, willing to admit. I really
Yeah.
do. And you're replacing now Makai Lemon. He's a rookie, but and you're a first round. That's a first round pick receiver. You're
Yeah.
putting him right in there. Devontae Smith has proven that he's a number one. So I mean,
Hmm.
it's just yeah. I think you're going to see an improvement in that offense, and just that team as a whole.
Yeah. I agree.
But yeah, yeah. I mean, I got the reason. So that's why I got him at 10. I got Jordan Love at 9. So he's 3 years as a full time starter. Packers have made the playoffs every single season. Now, I mean, competed against San Fran in 2023. They did lose 24-21. He's still got a lot to prove, but I think he's still capable of making those elite throws.
Yeah.
And you know, he's another guy. QBR last year 72.7, and I think he just keeps continuing to build off that. I think Green Bay is
Yep.
doing big things surrounding you know the right talent around him. Um, he can use his legs if he needs to use them. But and he'll occasionally miss those routine completions.
Yeah.
Again, that's why I have him at 9. That's why I don't have him any
Yep.
further up than that. But like I said, he's capable of making those elite throws, and I think it is safe to say that Green Bay has found their franchise quarterback in Jordan Love.
I agree. I think
Well, I mean,
my I think my bottom
so
two basically was, yeah, Drake May. I had him there, and I took away that I think he has a chance to make a push to be higher, and then Herbert, Lawrence, and Bo Nick. So all my guys at the bottom, I was thinking with the idea they have the chance to move further up. And
okay,
that's not saying that like the guys that you had at your bottom weren't there. I was just kind of looking at ESPN's list and being like, who on this list do I think deserves to be higher? Who maybe should stay there, or who gets moved, just shuffled around with that ability to go further. So that's why I kept Drake May there, but put Bo Nix there and Herbert and Lawrence. Love as well hurts. I thought they were there too, and Baker. So it was tough coming up with that bottom three because I was like,
it's
man, you
it's
can make an
tougher than you
argument
think it
for
is.
any of them.
No, it's definitely tougher than I thought it was going to be. Yeah, I mean, honestly, the higher up, like from 1 to 5,
Yeah,
I thought it was easier. But
I
yeah, once you
agree.
get to that 6 to 10, that's where it really gets tough. All right,
And
so
that
give me a
that
rundown.
makes
Who was your top
I
10?
was before I do that, and I was gonna say that just makes this NFL season a lot more fun, and the NFL seasons coming up make it a lot of fun to watch because you got these teams that, as long as you're building around these guys, you have a chance. A guy that we didn't even mention on our top 10 who just won the Super Bowl, Sam Darnold. Like, if Sam Darnold has another year that he had, I mean, how do you leave that off your top 10? You know?
I mean, that's a Darnold. I'd probably put Darnold in the top 15.
Yeah.
Um, like I said in the previous episode, Darnold was my favorite QB coming out of that 2018 draft. Yeah, I mean, he's proven that he can thrive in that offense. I think he has another good season. I
Hmm.
think he does. I think
Yeah.
Seattle. I mean, it's making that basically betting, moving on from Geno Smith and then bringing in Sam Darnold. Yeah, I mean, it worked out. They won the Super Bowl, but
And I mean, and Sam Darnold the year before had a great year in Minnesota as well.
oh yeah, well
So
he had a
it's
better yeah, it was a better season,
so I mean,
but
it's tough to keep him even away from that list too. So I think if
oh for
he has
sure.
he has a good year this year, I think he deserves to be in the top 10.
But yeah, who was your top 10 then again?
So my rundown top 10 starting at one, Josh Allen, then Pat Mahomes, then Matt Stafford, Lamar Jackson, Jared Goff, Dak Prescott, Joe Burrow, Bo Nix, Drake May, and then Herbert.
Okay, and then yeah, so yeah, our top five was kind of similar. I know we switched up the one and two, but yeah, so I ended up going with Patrick Mahomes at one, Allen at two, Stafford at three, Lamar Jackson at four, Burrow at five, Prescott at six, Goff at seven, Justin Herbert at eight, Jordan Love at nine, Hurts at 10, and then my honorable mention being Caleb Williams. So yeah, I mean, we'll see, man. We'll kind of we'll regroup at the end of the season, see where we stand on this list, see if
Yeah.
it changed at all. But all right,
Any
man.
any surprising quarterbacks make a insane push. And we're
There's
like,
always gonna be one or
dude,
two.
who saw this one coming out coming up,
There's always one or two of them.
right?
But yo, speaking of, and I kind of had my list already ready because I knew, but I was watching the replacements the other day with uh with Keanu Reeves and Gene Hackman.
Game footsteps Falco.
Dude, how about like I said, I was kind of prepared. I really had to think about it. You got a top five QB list for
I
movies?
I do. Do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
Why don't you go ahead,
Right.
start it off.
So we'll go top to bottom because the bottom one gonna surprise some people, but hear me out before you judge it. Number one, I got my boy Steeman Willie Beeman. And number two, Joe King from the program, Eastern State University. And number three, John Mox. And number four, I went back and forth, but I decided on one, I believe. So we have Rev or Sunshine, Ronnie Bass from Remember the Titans. And at five, it's going to shock people. Hear me out. Junior Floyd of the Little Giants.
Okay,
Now,
that all right, Junior Floyd. All right, I like that. All right, well,
Junior
I'll tell you what,
Floyd.
man. So you got all right. So we both got guys from Varsity Blues and Any Given Sunday.
Yes.
So you went with
Yes.
Mox. I ended up going with
Yes.
Lance. I went with Lance Harbor, and you
And
had him at two.
Mox was three. Joe King
I said, yeah.
was two.
Okay, so I went Lance Harbor actually two. All right, so
Okay.
what you got? Why you got Mox?
So the reason I have Mox at three, I
Also,
feel like
rest
he
in peace,
has.
James Vanderbeek. Rest in
Yep.
peace.
Yep. Great movie, by the way. One of
And
my
Paul
favorite.
Walker.
Yeah, both of them. Great movie. Love it. If you're a fan of football, you're a fan of movies, and you haven't seen Varsity Blues, you got to watch it. You will not dislike it at
We
all.
we have the rest of our lives to be mediocre, but we have the opportunity to play like gods
Yes. Yep.
the second half.
48 minutes, the next 48 minutes of our lives. Well, screw that. I say we go out and do the next 24 and let everything be on the field. But I thought he had a great QB IQ. I mean, he was bringing to his coach running a different offense, and he was implementing it with the second and third string players behind the coach's back. And coach is like, "What the hell is offense is this?" And he's like, "It's the oop to you. They run this at Oklahoma State." And he got pissed because he was like, "We're a run first team. Don't do that." But that shows he has smarts for the game. That realizes it shows he knows his talent on his team, and he feels like confident he could do it.
You don't think
Um,
Lance Harbor did though? I mean,
I I
dude,
I think Lance Harbor. The reason the coach wanted him was he was the yes man. He's gonna be the guy that's like, yes, coach,
I
and
don't know,
he's got
man. Hey,
talent.
yes, men aren't blue chip quarterbacks and have a full
I,
ride to
I
Florida
agree.
State.
I agree. Um, I thought Mox showed he could rally the team because think about it, Lance goes down and he's got to come in and be ready to go. But I think I don't know, the movie kind of was like hinting at it. Lance was the overall top guy, but Mox had ability with him, strong arm. Like they showed him sitting on the bench and he just threw the ball across field. I mean, even Watt, his coach, like his coach just like looked at him and was like, where the hell did that come from? And then, he leads them all the way with Lance as his coach. The Um,
Actually, you just took
but
the words out of my mouth. I was gonna say, yeah, Moxon led them to the state championship victory,
yeah,
but on Lance Harper's coaching.
hmm but
But
Lance
all right, I mean,
trusted Mox. Lance trusted Mox to run Mox's offense, if you remember. His Lance calls him over and says, "We're going to run the oop de oop offense. Tweeter, you're going to be on the outside, and we're going to do it." So Lance also realized there was talent with Mox. I feel like they go back and forth though.
but
You can't
also
argue
remember,
either of them.
remember, Mox football wasn't his first love though.
It
It
was not his
actually ended.
first love.
No.
It was not his
All
first
right, I
love.
mean, I won't because I mean I was actually contemplating actually having them both on the list. I ended, that's why I had Lance
Yeah,
Harper though. But all right, I mean I respect that though. But all right, so but you had Willie Beeman, he was your number one.
he was my number one.
See,
The
because I
reason,
want Cap Rooney.
and I just watched Any Given Sunday last night, so I realized that they said Cap Rooney was, I think they said, the 3-time league MVP in that league that they had. I went with Willie though because Willie was third string, but before that he was a second string, and then also they changed him from a quarterback to a corner, and he had an injury on his shoulder which made him be sidelined a full year. But then, what first game when he comes in, he went 9 of 14 for 176 yards and 2 touchdowns and led him to the win. And Cap even looked at the coach and was like, "You're moving on from me." And he was like, "Nope, I love you like a son. I would never do it." But then his next couple games, he had 300-yard passing touchdowns, multiple throwing TDs and rushing TDs as well. So that's why I went with Willie. And again, just like Varsity Blues, Cap Rooney is on the sideline coaching up Willie as they win their game.
But
So
that's also
it's
that was
funny
my
how
point
both
though.
it happens like that.
But I think see that's why I went Cap Rooney though because Cap Rooney never rooted against Willie Beeman. He
Yeah,
actually he was pushing for him. He's like,
yeah,
he always wanted Willie Beeman to succeed. And I mean Rooney was just a seasoned veteran. I mean even when he was hurt, trying to play through injuries. But I mean, yeah, he still wanted the quarterback the sharps even when he was hurt.
yep.
But yeah, I mean it's hard to Willie Beeman, but he lost the locker room though too, man. Remember when
He did,
you
he
know
did, and
Lawrence Taylor cut his Hummer up.
man, LT the Shark. Could you could they have picked a better person for that role than LT
Well, and then yeah, and then Jim Brown is
and
the
Jim Brown?
linebackers coach.
The best part about it is Jim Brown being the linebacker coach. When I watched that, I was like, okay, Jim Brown, the linebacker coach. But that, and for football movies, that is my football movie. Uh,
Any
I
given
know,
Sunday's
I
your
know
favorite.
yours, I know yours. But Any Given Sunday, I love that movie. I and
Yeah,
there's
I'm a
NFL,
Friday Night Lights guy.
yeah,
I'm a Friday Night Lights guy.
and there's been NFL players that have said, if you want to watch a accurate movie on how it feels to play the game with speed, the speed that they got, Any Given Sunday, with the way they do their camera angles and everything like that, and slowing it down, but then making it speed up real fast so you're disoriented while watching it. They've all said that that is the movie to watch
Oh yeah, just well and
to
everything, just how
understand it a little bit,
how
what they
corrupt it
feel
is
and
too.
how they see.
You know,
Yeah,
getting shot up. It's
yeah,
completely unhealthy. Yeah, no,
yeah.
that's all right. All right, man. All right, Beeman was your number one. You didn't even have Shane Falco on your list.
I did not have Shane Falco on the list. I
Yeah,
thought for
man.
sure you were going to put Shane Falco on the list.
Number one.
And
He's my number one.
yeah, and I
Dude,
was
it's
going to. I was
what's
going
not to
to.
like about the character?
Yeah, I mean, he's amazing. He's an Ohio State quarterback,
Dude,
won the
All
Rose Bowl,
American for
All
All
American.
American for the Ohio State. Now he
Yep,
did lose in the Sugar Bowl,
yep,
but instead of letting that define him, he kept playing the game that he loved.
yep.
Ended up being the replacement QB for the Washington Senators.
Yeah,
Dude, it's yeah, he was yeah scab,
and
but
led them while losing in the second half.
oh yeah,
But
I mean he
but
brought the
that
team
was
together
my,
too.
yeah, rally the locker room. But
That's
that
fine.
was,
I don't.
I kind of held that one against him. Like, dude, He didn't show up, and the whole time they were wondering, is he going to show up?
He
Like,
has strong leadership, man.
yeah,
There was that one game where he called the audible. He didn't want the ball, but he proved them all wrong, man. I
he
mean,
saw
man,
blitz.
but yeah,
He
Shane
was
Falco,
scared.
man, that's actually a very underrated movie. It's actually probably my favorite Keanu Reeves movie.
Oh, so there was only one other. There was
Ned,
another
Ned and
Keanu
Ted.
Reeves movie that I was like, do I counter Shane Falco and say conspiracy theory? Shane Falco changed his name, and that's Johnny Utah from
Okay,
Point
and Point
Break.
Break.
I wasn't gonna do it,
I
but
didn't
I
even
was
think of
like,
that, man. You could have
in
went there too.
in a conspiracy theory way, think about this. Shane Falco played at the Ohio State, got an injury, and now is in Washington, D.C. Johnny Utah is in California, undercover police officer, played at Ohio State, had his injury in the Rose Bowl. Conspiracy theory here, did Shane Falco change his name, or did Johnny Utah just go undercover as Johnny Utah? You know what
Or
I
how
mean?
about this? Is Keanu Reeves secretly an Ohio State fan? Did you ever think
That's
about
the
that?
real one. That's the real thing is Keanu Reeves is just an Ohio State fan, and he doesn't
We're
want to
gonna have
come out
to.
and say it.
I
But
know. The
I
more I'm
agree
thinking
with
about that,
you.
man.
So I agree with you though. Underrated movie, The Replacements. There's some sticky, hard to get by, but I agree with you. Underrated movie. I saw it when it came out. I remember as a kid watching it, and I was like, I actually like this movie a lot. And now if it's on and I have nothing to watch, I leave it on. I
Well, it's
like
on
it
TBS like every other weekend.
every freaking week, especially when the NFL season starts. It's like replacements, replacements. I'm like, oh man.
What about no Paul Crew
Did not do Paul Crew.
from The Longest
I thought,
Yard?
yeah, I thought for sure that you were gonna put him there, and I also was like going back and forth on it. I like that movie, um, but another top heavy favorite movie of mine that I watch every year, The Program. Another movie. If people
Joe
are
Kane.
fans of our joking, if you're a fan of football movies, you're a fan of seeing a little drama with it, but showing some stuff that they don't really talk about, I think the program is phenomenal. And Joe King, I mean, he was the Heisman, and I really feel like it touches on the mental health. And movies back then weren't doing that, but you figure like the main character Joe King, his father's an alcoholic. He gets a DWI during his Heisman year, his most stressful year that he's got, loses a big game against the other Heisman candidate. So he spirals kind of, has to check into rehab. And then you got other guys that have their own stuff going on in the movie. Their linebacker loses his career, and he was going to be a top guy like a Ray Lewis. And then you got a defensive end that's taking steroids and
And
getting
sexually
tested
assaulting
for
women.
it and sexually assaulting women. And meanwhile, the coach is trying to cover it all up and continue his championship year.
But all right,
So
so Joe Kane though, I mean, you're
Joe
gonna
King,
put him at two though, but that's
I
basically so
did because
he's
of
putting himself before the team. He's getting DUIs.
I agree. I agree, but I thought talent wise, with all the things that were going on with him, the ability in that game, his last game to step up, be the guy, and he kept looking over to see if his dad was there, and eventually was just like the hell with it. I don't care. I'm moving on. That's why I put him there because
Uh,
I thought he had a lot of hurdles to battle, and some of the other guys didn't have those hurdles that he had to battle. I think it says a lot when you can overcome those hurdles and come out the other side. Everybody makes mistakes, but what can you do after? Are you going to learn from your mistakes, or are you going to continue down that path? And I think Joe
I,
King, Willie Beeman, those were guys that they learned from those mistakes and they end up bringing the team together. And those guys, those teams will rally around them.
I mean, So I mean, I did a Joe, but I ended up going Joe Kingman, The Rock, in the game plan. I don't know if you ever seen that one.
I have not
It's a
actually seen that movie.
it's a Disney flick, and he's not the best pure quarterback in the and throughout the movie he actually uses his legs more. But give you a quick rundown. Basically, he had a daughter that he never knew about. His the woman that he had the daughter with, he thinks that she's alive this whole time, but she ends up she's dead. But so the daughter gets sent to be with him, and then he's not mature enough to really bond with her, and then throughout the movie he's balancing basically his celebrity lifestyle, being a pro football player and being a father. And then he ends up being, a good dad. He develops the relationship with his daughter.
Yeah,
But he leads the Boston Rebels to the championship and he has a significant injury in the game, still, comes back and then wins. So that's why I went Joe Kingman,
that's
not
a good
because I'm a
pick.
Rock fan, but I got him in my top five.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick.
But
I might have to check that movie out. I might have to watch it with my kids since it's a
they
Disney
look
flick.
that'd be a
Introduce
perfect
them to it. Yeah,
that'd be a perfect one for the boys.
exactly.
All right, so give me a quick rundown again. Who was your top five?
The top five was Willie Beeman, Joe King, Mox, Rev or Sunshine, and then Junior Floyd.
Okay, all
Rev,
right.
Rev and Sunshine. It was hard to pick between them because Rev started off as their guy and he was the all around good quarterback. And then Ronnie Bass came in during their mini camp, and coach was like, "Well, we'll find a spot for him." And he threw that deep pass, and they're like, "Yeah, we'll definitely find a spot for him." But you look at it, he came into that game when Rev got injured, threw two touchdowns and had a rushing touchdown, and learned the Veer offense, which he was very nervous about doing. Led them to the state championship, but in the final game-winning play of the state championship was the lead blocker for Rev. So that's why I was like, I think they're a combo package. Like one makes the other one always better, but state championship games on the line, who's got the ball in his hand? Rev, and who's blocking for him the whole way downfield? Ronnie Bass.
Ronnie Bass.
Like that's
Uh,
pretty dope. And if I think probably everyone has seen Remember the Titans. If you haven't seen Remember the Titans, another solid movie to go and watch.
yeah, and so like I said, I mean, I went Shane Falco one, Lance Harbor two, Paul Crew three. That could be either Paul Crew, that could be Adam
Yeah.
Sandler or Burt Reynolds, Cap Rooney four, and Joe Kingman five. But
So
I mean, no, I do. I respect your list. I like that list.
so the only thing with Junior Floyd that I wanted to touch on was I think I told you and I was like conspiracy theory. Junior Floyd turns out to be a Lance Harbor in that small town. He's because I mean the whole time in that movie, Little Giants, they want to get Spike, the running back. But meanwhile, Junior Floyd is in the
Mike don't play
grocery.
football, girls.
Exactly. Spike don't care. Didn't you hear? But
I'm gonna
meanwhile,
start talking like that in third person.
with one name, Drew, just say Drew. Drew don't care.
Drew don't
But
care. Drew don't play football, girls.
but Junior Floyd is in the grocery store, and I know it's a small town, so everybody has to be seeing this. Dude's got a 20-yard gun just throwing downfield with toilet paper. Then the wide receiver that couldn't catch for anything, first toilet paper hits
Hot
him in the
hands.
chest, catches it. And then they're showing a practice and he's literally running play action pass in pee wee football. Like what? So
Advanced offense. Was that the
right.
annexation of
The
annexation
annexation
of
of
Puerto
Puerto
Rico?
Rico. And another one that I wrote down that when the game was on the line, he was hurt, but he came in and was the lead blocker.
Off of the ice box.
Yeah, for Icebox. Oh, dude, that's Becky, my
Becky.
niece. She's pissed.
Oh man, I do. I respect that list. I can definitely get down with that. Oh man, seriously, I can't believe we talked about our top five list like that.
Yeah,
Really stretched it out. But brother, appreciate you getting on as
absolutely, bro.
always.
Another fun
You know,
episode.
always, always. But everybody, like I said, love you guys tuning in. To all the Jay Bayers out there, appreciate you tuning in. Next week, can't get it soon enough. Like I said, I'll do my solo shows on
Yep.
Thursday. If you love this episode, please hit that subscribe. Also, check out the content page on Instagram at Jay by the Bay. You can catch all the graphics. We'll have all these graphics that are, on this episode on there as
Yep.
well. But yeah, until next time, again, seriously, thank you guys so much. Love you guys.
Love you
And
guys. Thank you.
until next time, take care.
Absolutely. Take care.